Okay, so far in this series, we've looked at how we can quickly and mentally add numbers, subtract numbers, multiply numbers. In this video, we're going to look at how we can do it using division. I've deliberately chosen a very large number, 87 million plus plus plus, to be divided by 43. I'm going to give you a generous 2.5 minutes to get the answer to this question. Don't worry, of course, after this time, I'm going to show you a technique where you'd be able to work out the answer to questions like these in 1 minute or less. Okay, so your time starts now. Go. You've got 2.5 minutes. Okay, I believe your time is up. Watch me. 4 into 8, 2, remainder 0. 2 times 3, 6, 6 from 7 equals 1. 4 into 1 equals 0, remainder 1. 3 times 0 is 0, minus 19 equals 19. 4 into 19 equals 4 4s are 16, remainder 3. 3 times 4 is 12, 12 from 34 equals 22, 4 into 22 equals 5, remainder 2. 3 times 5 is 15, minus 22 equals 7, 4 into 7 equals 1, remainder 3. 1 3 is 3, 3 from 33 equals 30, 4 into 30 equals 7, remainder 2. 3 times 7 is 21, 21 from 25 gives us 4, 4 into 4 equals 1, remainder 0. 3 times 1 is 3, minus 3 equals 0. There we have it. Your answer is 2,045,141. I'm not too sure how long that took me, but we can check, or you can check. So, how was I able to do it? Well, before I tap myself on the shoulder, let's first verify the answer. So we had 87,000, or 87 million rather, 942,353. And we divided that by 43, which gave us, hopefully you can see that, 2,045,171. So we got the correct answer. Now let's see the technique I used to answer this question in one line. Notice, one line. Okay, so it's the time you've been waiting for, time to learn the actual trick. You will be pleased to know, rather than dividing by 43, we're going to be splitting that number once again into manageable numbers that we can work with mentally, i.e. 4 and 3. And actually, the only division we're going to be doing is dividing by 4. So, let's see how I did it. First step, remember, all we're doing is dividing by 4. So, 4 into 8 equals 2. And you place the remainder onto the next digit to the right, 0. So now this number reads as 7 because it's 0, 7. Yeah? Next step, we now use our unused number, which is 3, and we multiply that number by our answer digit. Yeah? And then we subtract it from our next digit. Are you following? So, once again, 4 into 8 equals 2. That's our first answer digit. And then we use our unused digit, which is 3, and we do 3 times 2 equals 6, and then we subtract that product from our next number, which is 6 minus 7 gives us 1. Yeah? And this is the technique I'm going to be using for all the other numbers. That's it. Alright? With some slight variations depending on the remainder. The trick is, once we get a number at the top here of 0, then we're done. We've correctly gotten our answer. So let's continue working through this. Next step is to begin dividing again by 4. We're always going to be dividing by 4. And we're going to be dividing the numbers we get at the top here by our 4. So 4 into 1 equals 0, isn't it? And once again, remainder 1. Now this is read as 19 as in 19. Yeah? As before, our unused digit, 3 times 0 equals 0. So 0 from 19 gives us 19. And we place the 19 back up here. You know where this is going. Once again, divide by 4. 4 into 19. 4 4s are 16. Yes? Remainder 3. Next step, unused digit. 3 times 4 equals 12. 12 minus 34 is 22. What do we do again? Divide by 4. 4 into 22 equals 5. Remainder 2. Correct? 3 unused digit times answer digit. 3 times 5 equals 15. 15 from 22 gives us 7. Yeah? 4 into 7, it's 1. Remainder 3. 1, 3 is 3. Yes, answer digit by unused digit. 1 times 3 is 3. 3 from 33 is 30. 4 into 30, next step, yeah? 4 into 30 is 7. 7 4s are 28. And we have a remainder of 2. 3 times 7 is 21. 21 from 25, it's 4. 4 into 4 gives us 1 with a remainder of 0. 3 times 1 equals 3, and 3 from 3 equals 0. And remember what I said, once we get a number at the top of 0, that's it, you've gotten your answer, which means our answer is 2,045,171. Yeah? I tried to do it slowly, however, if you got stuck or lost somewhere along the way, you can slow the video down and review it. But the steps generally were splitting the large number into digestible parts. So instead of dividing a multi-million dollar, instead of dividing a multi-million number by 43, we instead divided the number into 4 and 3. Yeah? And we did division by 4. 4 into 8 equals 2. And once we got our answer digit, we then used our second unused digit. 4 times 2 equals 6, and that product was subtracted from our next digit. And we placed our answer at the top in preparation for our next division stage. And we continued with that process for each number until we got a 0 at the top, which meant our answer is complete. Notice for each number there is a digit at the bottom, as in the remainder digit, and a digit at the top, which was the remainder from the subtraction process. Alright? Okay, now if you're happy with that, I'm now going to give you a question so you can get some practice. And again, I'm going to give you 2 minutes to do this, just until the technique gets cemented. Yeah? Alright. Here's your next question. I would like you to divide 9,743 by 31. A nice easy one compared to 80-something million. Or is it? Okay, you've got 2 minutes and your time starts now. Okay, as before, let's work through this one together. Alright? Break our numbers up into digestible chunks. 3 and a nice easy 1. So 3 into 9 gives us 3, remainder 0. Yeah? 1 times 3 equals 3. 3 from 7 gives us a remainder of 4. Yep, this is the first remainder from our subtraction. 4 divided by 3 gives us 1, remainder 1. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 from 14 gives us 13. 3 into 13 is 4, isn't it? 4 3s are 12. And again, we have a remainder of 1. 1 times 4 equals 4. 4 from 13 gives us 9. And we're coming up to the end. 3 into 9 is 3. And now we have a remainder of 0. So what do? Remember I said at the beginning, if we have a remainder at the top, which is a remainder from subtraction, then we've got our answer. In this case, we've got a remainder from our division. So we've got a remainder at the bottom. This is different. And we have no more numbers to go. In this case, you'll be happy to know that actually you've still got your answer. This is your answer, technically. However, if you get a 0 at the bottom, you move the decimal point 1 place to the left. And then you have your answer. So the answer in this case is 314.3. Now how cool is that? You're even able to work out the answer to the first decimal place or the first significant decimal place using this technique, if the question doesn't allow for a perfect division. Once again, let's verify that answer on our calculator. So we had 9,743 divided by 31, and hopefully you can see the answer is indeed 314.29. So in other words, 314.3 to the first significant decimal point. All right? Now, there is one more caveat to using this technique, and hopefully you made it this far into the video, because if you just looked at the technique at the beginning and tried applying it to all questions, you would notice something goes funny depending on certain situations. And this final caveat that I'm going to share with you is going to enable you to use this technique for any number. All right, so let's look at it. Okay, so this question, spoiler alert, is deliberately a bit tricky. It's going to require you to remember the caveat that I explained to you a few minutes ago. And the second caveat is baked in. So I'd like to see how you approach it. All right, and then I'll show you how it is we get around it. So once again, I'm going to give you 2.5 minutes because it's tricky. Make it 3 minutes to work out the answer to this particular question. And then we'd look at it together. All right, and verify on the calculator. But please don't do that until we do it together. If you can restrain yourself. All right, your time starts now. Go. You have 3 minutes. Okay, so let's get our answer. Once again, we break the number up into digestible parts, 2 and 3 instead of 23. And we go 2 into 4 equals 2, remainder 0. 3 times 2 equals 6. 6 from 6 gives us 0, which means 2 into 0, it's 0, remainder 0. Yeah? Let's get some more colors up here. 3 times 0 is 0. 0 from 3 gives us 3. Oh, did it again. Let's use red for consistency. 2 into 3 equals 1, remainder 1. 1 times 3 is 3. 3 from 19 gives us 16. 2 into 16 gives us 8, remainder 0. And this is where I want you to pay attention. This is where the second lesson or the second caveat comes about. What happens next? 3 times 8 gives us 24 minus 8. Hopefully you can see this would result in a negative number, and we cannot have a negative number at the top here. Alright? That leads to all sorts of problems. We'd have a negative number here, and we'd have to divide that negative number by 2, which would give us more negative numbers. So, to avoid this, or work around this, what we do is we take one step back. That's it. That's all we need to do. Take one step back and reduce this number by 1, which would give us 8 from 1 is just 7, isn't it? But hopefully you can see, in order to get 7 here, we have to consider that 16 divided by 2 equals 7. As you saw previously, we got 8, which was the correct answer, yeah? 2 divided, well, 2 into 16 gives us 8, but we want to get 7, so we have to pretend that 2 can only go into 16 7 times, which results in a remainder of 2. Hopefully you can see that, because 2 times 7 is 14, not 16, yeah? But we only want 7, which means we have a remainder of 2, which would give us 28 on the next number. And that's it. And we continue with the technique just like we did before. So 3 times 7 equals 21. 21 from 28 gives us 7. 2 into 7 equals 3. Remainder 1. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 from 14 gives us 5. 2 into 5 equals 2. Once again, remainder 1. 3 times 2 rather equals 6. 6 from 12 equals 6. And finally, 2 into 6 gives us 3. Remainder 0. And remember what we said when we had a 0 at the bottom? This isn't a 0 at the top. It's a 0 at the bottom. It means we've still come to the end and we've got our answer. Just we need to take one step, which is to move our decimal point one spot to the left, which means our answer is actually 201,732.3. Remember, because we reduced our 8 by 1. Let's verify that answer using our calculator. How cool is that? Yeah? 4639842 divided by 23. And there you have it. 201,732.26. Of course, we got our answer to the first decimal point, which is amazing considering how much time we took, and we just did a one-liner. Alright, now hope you found this useful, and I'll see you again in the next video of the series. In the meantime, keep learning.